I need coffee. Cheers. Hi everyone, welcome back to another HealthCorps lesson. For those of you that don't know, my name is Catherine Torres and I am a coordinator here in Houston, Texas. I'm going to be walking through today's little lesson with you guys, and we're going to talk a little bit about emotions. So I wanted to start off by asking just this general discussion question, and it's, are your true emotions, feelings, thoughts a part of your everyday conversations with friends and family? Are you checking in to yourself about them? Maybe you're finding yourself in like this autopilot mode where you're responding with a reactive, like, I'm fine, when someone asks you how you're doing, like just kind of out of habit. Some of you might be, some of you might not be, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna break the ice about talking about our emotions through a little iceberg activity. Hopefully this activity can help you kind of navigate your emotions, even if it's just a little bit. The key here is to reflect and to not judge whatever it is that you're feeling. How can we build this comparison to an iceberg? The majority of an iceberg is not visible above the surface of the water, and that's why the Titanic crash was so alarming. What's happening beneath the surface is what's important to pay attention to, kind of like our underlying emotions. Let's start from the top, the visible portion of the iceberg. What are you and others seeing from the surface? Let's all be honest here, there's a lot going on. We've got 24-hour news cycles and notifications with updated COVID statistics, protocols. Maybe you're missing out on activities that you were looking forward to, or you don't have your normal routines to ground you, or maybe you're adapting to online learning, or around your family for much longer than you care to be. There are several changes many of you are experiencing right now, and it all may feel really difficult. So when difficulties arise, the part of the brain that deals with emotion and memories, otherwise known as the limbic system, kicks into gear in order to protect us. It's in these moments that anger normally manifests. And when we're angry, we may argue, or we might gossip, we might become short-tempered, we might lose patience. Our sass might be like at an all-time high, and sometimes it takes a little bit of self-reflection because sometimes we don't even notice that it's happening. So I want you to think about this. When you express yourself, what do the people around you, or even yourself, what do they see on the outside? They might see this really irritable or frustrated person, this really stressed out individual, you name it. So the first thing we are going to do is think about a recent moment when you were angry, frustrated, or irritated. Write or draw that moment at the top of your iceberg. The most recent moment for me was a few weeks back when I was having trouble at the dealership because of some maintenance issues. I let my anger get the best of me and I used some words that I will not repeat. And so when I analyze about what this probably looked like on the surface in the eyes of the employees, I probably came off as rude or causing a scene, a difficult customer, or just another irritated individual that doesn't know how to control their temper. So keep that in mind. I'm going to shift gears to a little emotion talk 101 here. Anger often shows itself as a secondary emotion, covering up other emotions like hurt, fear, or worry. If you asked yourself, what am I really feeling? Maybe you'd find that there are other emotions involved. For some of us, our deep-set emotions can be very unsettling, and maybe it makes you feel vulnerable, and you worry that others may judge you for expressing your true feelings instead of just anger or frustration. Or maybe you judge yourself for feeling those ways and don't accept them as valid emotions. So you say things like, I'm tough, not scared, instead of accepting that you can be scared at times and still be tough. I have 3 important things to share with you before I dive back into my iceberg. 1, it can be difficult to identify how we are truly feeling, especially if we aren't used to trying to. Don't feel bad if you just don't know right away. There's no right or wrong answer, and the main objective is to give you space to reflect. Number 2, there are no bad emotions. Emotions are our brain's reactions to what we are experiencing. They are there to tell us something about ourselves and our experiences, and they are simply how we are feeling, and we are allowed to feel these emotions. Experiencing a range of emotions is completely normal. And number 3, it's often how we judge, label, and avoid the emotions that impact how much distress they cause us and others around us. Have you tried writing or saying out loud that you recognize and accept them? I am allowing this sadness to be here in this moment, or I am noticing feelings of fear. We don't have to enjoy the experience of every emotion, but they may exist in our lives whether we invited them or not. While it may not seem like it will help you along the run, identifying what emotions you are truly feeling allows your brain to relax. It's an exhausting secret to keep, so you don't need to be best friends with all of your emotions. Instead, be comfortable with their presence. With all that in mind, let's think about what may be underneath this iceberg example. Was there more to my anger in that moment? If you ask me, yes. What everyone else didn't know is that the car issues had really been putting a lot of stress into my thoughts and emotions. And do you know how frustrating it is to have to deal with car issues during a pandemic? It's pretty difficult, especially when you're trying to social distance all in one big building. And then aside from all of that built up stress, I had other worries I was dealing with, like adjusting to working from home and being bombarded with negative news, feeling overwhelmed. There was just a lot of built up tension there all around, which really affected the way I acted in that specific moment. But at the end of the day, it's normal for us to feel angry, especially when we analyze the deep-rooted circumstances of our emotions. We just have to try our best to reflect on what's really going on so that we can try and progress. Working on the activity, it can sometimes be a little bit difficult to, admit to yourself that, hey, I am feeling some negative emotions. Hey, I am feeling worried. I'm feeling angry. And sometimes we don't want to talk about those things. But at the same time, it's so relieving to be able to address it, to be able to accept it, and also to be able to reflect on it. One last piece of encouragement is find somebody that you can talk to or that you trust, that you can talk to them about what you're experiencing or what you're feeling, and they can be that source of encouragement for you. If you are feeling overwhelmed and you feel like there isn't anybody in particular that you can talk to, you are not alone. You can text HOME to 741-741, and that'll connect you with a crisis text line counselor. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for breaking the ice with me. I am gonna go practice some self-care now, relax a little bit. I hope that y'all do too. Also, you can find this exact iceberg reflection page and other wellness resources at healthcorps.org and throughout all of our social media channels.